All right, and I'm back with another edition of Deck Tech. Today I'm going to be doing Riggs Simmons. He's another one of my favorites to play. He's really underrated in my opinion. Riggs, his gimmick says once during each of your turns, if you played a follow-up, you may discard one follow-up from your hand to play an extra card this turn. That card must be a follow-up. So he's really good, and I think I have the cards in there to make his gimmick like really shine. So for 1, 2, and 3, I have the Snap Pudge, Arm and Collar Tie Up, and the Snap Headlock. All three have the Stop Any Lead, Grapple, Stop Any Lead, Grapple, Submission, or Strike. And they let me and my opponent draw a card. I have those in there just because I really like to get cards in my hand to get to those follow-ups that I need for my gimmick. And then for 4, 5, and 6, I have the Snap Kick, the Super Hip Toss, and the Elevated Arm Bar. Same concept with the 1 through 3. All right, and then 7, 8, and 9, I have the Knife Edge Chop, the Scoop Slam, and the Face Stretch. I have the Knife Edge Chop in there. It says flip 2 cards or take a follow-up from your discard pile, add it to your hand. Sometimes I might have a follow-up in my discard pile that I really want to play, and that'll get it for me. And Scoop Slam and Face Stretch, I'm going to be going through my deck really fast once I get going, and those let me shuffle cards back into my deck because I don't want to run out of cards in my deck with this guy. 10, 11, and 12, I have the Headbutt, Arm Drag, and the Rear Chin Lock. Draw one for each other lead you have in play with all three. Those are just to really build my hand up pretty quick. I considered putting the other one in there with the, if you have a lead in play, draw two, but I just want to go with these just in case I do have a bunch of leads out and I can draw a bunch. And then 13, 14, and 15, these are what help the deck, or the gimmick, really shine. Is a Duck One, Take One, Surprise Cutter, and Apply Leverage. So all three of these say, if any player played a stop last turn, this is also a lead. And each one says, when this card is in your discard pile, if your opponent stops a strike card, you may add it to your hand. And this says a grapple, and this says submission. So with my gimmick, I play a follow-up shoulder block, and they stop it. I can discard one of these, and they're my discard. Once these are my discard, let's say I play shoulder block, they stop it, I could pick up the Duck One, Take One, put it in my hand, and then I could discard it for my gimmick to play another follow-up for my hand. And these are also good with the stop abilities, with the leads. So even if I have two of these in my hand, it's awesome. Because, and if they played a stop last turn. They play a stop last turn, I don't have a lead out, bam, Duck One, Take One, they stop it, I'll discard a follow-up and play the other one. It's a lead and a submission. And they're really useful for the gimmick, picking them up to discard them, and they're really good if your opponents are stopping them, and I can get my finishes out pretty quick with those. All right, 16, 17, 18, I have Shoulder Block, Walking Slam, and Sleeper Hold. The Shoulder Block and Sleeper Hold, draw one for each other follow-up you have in play. Like with the 10, 11, 12s, I considered putting the, if you have a follow-up in play, draw two. But for now, I'm liking these because I'm either going to draw one or I want to draw 3 or 4. And the Walking Slam, that is kind of the same concept as the Duck One, Take One, Apply Leverage and stuff. It says draw one for each follow-up you have in play, then bury one. That can get my hand up pretty quick. And when the crowd meter's 2 or greater, it's also a lead. So I can really push the pace with that one. So I've got 4 of those type cards in there that can get me a follow-up out if I don't have a lead. I have your standard 19, 20, 21s, the elbow strikes, neck breaker, and leg locks. Just went with that. I don't want my opponent to draw too many cards off my stops, so I go with those. 22, 23, and 24. I got the Splash in the Corner, Flying Cutter, and the Nerve Hold. Those shuffle 2 and draw 2. Really good when it works perfectly. Like if my opponent, if I hit this and my opponent Doesn't have a stop for it. I take 2, shuffle 2, and draw 2. And then I can discard a follow-up to play another one if I want to, if I really need to build my hand up. And that's just really good. The 24, 20, 25, 26, and 27 is your standard drop kick, follow slam, double armbar. Then the finishes, I have all 3 of his finishes in there: rig to strike, grider collapse, and the teardown. Rig to strike, +5 to agility, +1 to power, brings my power up to 9, my agility up to 10. I really don't see anything else that can go in there. A generic finish. Garter collapse, it's +1 to power, brings it to 9, +1 to grapple, brings it to a 10. It's really good. And if stopped, I can take 2 follow-ups from my discard pile, add them into my hand. It's really good when they stop it, because then I can just pick up some like nerve holds or anything really. And then the teardown, +1 to submission, bringing it to an 8, +3 to technique, bringing it to a 9. And I draw 3 cards, and my opponent buries 1 card in their hand. It's really good as well. And that's Riggs. I think he's very underrated, but you know, that's just my opinion. Hope you all enjoyed that.